Okay, so we're going to be starting in a bit. However, we do have some things we have to get out of the way. As everybody has seen from the last game that was just played not too long ago. Iconic bested best 2-0. The final scores from their game was 46 iconic 12 best for the nurse set and 38 iconic 28 singularity set. Now both teams we will continue to see from, as this is a double elimination, and they will both be playing the winners and losers of this upcoming game. Yes, Iconic will be playing the winner of Loyalty versus Arca de Noed, and Best will be playing the loser of Loyalty versus Arca de Noed. Now, I know I have previously mispronounced their name as Arca de Noed. It is Arca. I am very sorry. That might still slip up a little bit here and there. However, we will be watching them play against each other. Very excited to see each team performing to the best of their abilities in the first round. Now, this first round, they had an option to choose from a handful of killers, which were Huntress, Nightmare, Nurse, Shape, Singularity, Twins, and Wraith. And because of the pick ban system, they decided to ban Nightmare, Nurse, Shape, Singularity, which left us with Huntress, Twins, and Wraith in that order. Huntress on Wretched Shop, Twins on Shattered Square, also known as the Borgo, the red map, and Wraith on Fractured Cowshed. Two maps in a row that are very bright. However, the only killer we won't be seeing whatsoever is the Shape. Shape was not picked in any of the games, which I'm kind of sad about, because I was looking forward to seeing one of each, or having a possibility of seeing one of each. I think this is also the last chance we might see Wraith get played. Yes, if they do not end up going to tiebreaker, we will have no chance of seeing Wraith getting played today or at all until the finals, when the reset, as each killer is used once until the finals. And in the finals, they will be playing a best of 5. And because it is double elimination, they will have to play a second time to win. If the winner of the main bracket side loses to the winner of the loser's bracket side. I hope that all makes sense, but all killers are available to be picked by that point, I'm pretty sure. So we do have Loyalty and Arca de Noed, two teams that participated in the recent season of Iridescent League. Iridescent League, a sort of sister league, as we do share a lot of the same staff. And this would not have been possible without the help of all of my lovely friends over there in the staff channels. I really do appreciate all of them. I do love all of them. But Loyalty was very close to winning the season. as they lost against Misery in, I believe, the second round of the playoffs by a slim margin. And some of the members of Loyalty actually were on the team that played against Misery again in the finals. So a lot of these players on Loyalty are going to be some of the best team. This might be the best team we have. And we are getting some things situated. But what do we expect, as these games are, you know, a little bit iconic, what you say? They might be royal. We do take a look at the Loyalty logo. They do have a very beautiful skull with a crown, and Arca de Noed has the Noed skull pyramid, the skull pyramid from Noed, surrounded in fire. So, which skull team will come out on top today? It is anybody's guess. Yours is as good as mine. And let's take a look real quick at the balancing for some of these killers. Huntress played on Wretched Shop, as we said before. Apart from the general bans, we will be seeing Agitation, Iron Grasp, Iron Maiden, and Mad Grit all banned on Huntress. Not, too abnormal. And Infantry Belt, Leather Loop, and Iridescent Head are the only banned add-ons for Huntress, which means we could see a Soldier's Beauty. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I'm sure some French people might have the only complaint on my pronunciation. Survivors, in addition to the general bans, will have Botany, Dead Hard, Decisive Strike, Deliverance, Desperate Measures, Inner Strength, Off the Record, Urban Evasion, and Wicked, all banned. That does still mean the majority of exhaustion perks are allowed, but the Smash Hit player will be the one with the flashlight, and the Sprint Burst player will be the one with the firecracker. Or if they do end up bringing those items, as we have seen one team already elect not to bring items whatsoever to one of their matches. If they do end up bringing those items, they can choose not to even bring that exhaustion perk across any of those survivors. But if they bring one, they have to bring the other. Now, we do see some very normal offerings with the cut coin for Killer, and the annotated blueprint, Vigo's blueprint option for survivors, Shroud of Binding, Vigo's Shroud, and Bloodied Blueprint, forcing the survivors to all spawn grouped up together furthest away from the killer, and Basement in Shack. Let's take a quick look at the Twins, a recently updated killer that does not have any bans apart from the general bans. Survivors are not allowed to use, however, Adrenaline, Botany Knowledge, Dead Hard, Deliverance, Desperate Measures, Off the Record, Inner Strength, Invocation, Weaving Spiders, Wicked, and they are not allowed to have the 3 perks paired together, Flip-Flop, Tenacity, and Unbreakable. However, you can run 2 on the same survivor, just not all 3. Smash Hit must be run with the flashlight, and the firecracker must have Sprint Burst. And because we're on Borgo, we will be seeing the cut coin with the exact same offerings on Survivor as we did see for Huntress. And the killer will be allowed to bring very rare and below add-ons. That means none of these iridescent cloth, the silencing cloth add-on, which I do know is a little bit of a silly add-on, but, sometimes it might catch people off guard. Now, what do we have to look for if we do end up going to the Wraith set in the tiebreaker? Wraith is played on Fractured Cowshed with all add-ons allowed. That means that you are allowed to run the all-seeing add-ons. And they will be bringing Cut Coin. Survivors, however, are not allowed to bring all of the banned perks normally, and in addition, no Babysitter, no Balanced Landing, no Bite the Bullet, Botany Knowledge, Dead Hard, Decisive Strike, Deliverance, Desperate Measures, Head On, Inner Strength, Lithe, Lucky Star, Off the Record, I'm sure I said that already, Premonition, Smash Hit, Spine Chill, Sprint Burst, Unbreakable, and Wicked. Yeah, that's a lot of perks that are banned against Wraith. You have no exhaustions, and you have very little in the way of resetting, and no second chance perks except Second Wind. Now, the offerings are a little bit different here. Cut Coin for Killer with Annotated Blueprint Forced, and the rest of the offerings, Shroud of Binding, Vigo's Shroud, Bloody Blueprint, are the standard. Now, we are going to be looking for Arca Noed to be sending us an invite to the lobby in just a moment. And when we do, we will be seeing you very shortly. Okay, and it does seem like we are loaded on up into the game. We do see Panchito Crack chasing at main building. Ooh, almost getting a hit off on Last Fur at the rock tile. And I do believe these are both NE East teams. Oh, and that is going to be a stun. Looks a little bit delayed. That could be my internet. I'm not too sure. But we will see a bamboozle on the window. Lastford getting M1'd as opposed to getting hit with that shit. And that's gonna be a down after being zoned in main building. And we will see the bamboozle yet again. That is a very unlucky window for our killer, but a very good one for the survivors. And that's gonna be a Pain Resonance hook. With a pop goes the weasel onto this generator. Very big news for our killer. So that is a down before the first generator even gets complete. We do hear this one over here pumping away a bit. And I think our killer is going to commit. No, not quite commit. Just sort of proxy this hook and patrol these gens. Just slow them down just enough while Last Fur is on the hook. And if they can get a free hit, they will take it. We see Ray coming in for the unhook here. And barely able to get that unhook before the Oak Haft cooldown reduction went through for the down. First generator does come out. Last Fur does get unhooked. Ray takes his spot. And instead, now we will be seeing Pop Goes the Weasel and Pain Resonance yet again on the same generator. Pop Goes the Weasel and Pain Resonance only can assume it is on the other generator that we had seen on the other side of that truck. Panchito is still seeing regression on this generator. Second generator does come out. That's the other one that we knew was Pain Resonanced. And we see them failing a skill check on a generator in the distance behind main building. That is a 3-gen, kind of a 4-gen. It's a bit stretched, but it is a 4-gen. If they are able to confirm second state, and they are, this is a good move for Panchito. And we do see a survivor just sort of coming in. That's Last Fur. But Ray takes the endurance hit. Panchito trying to get a hatchet. Oh my goodness, look at that hitbox. We're looking for Ray, and I think that Panchito found him. Going towards main building, but is he going to get the down? Or are they going to try and go for a for the people play? They aren't able to stop the mending. We do know Panchito does have Bamboozle. So the Bamboozle will be forcing Ray out of main building. And hopefully for our survivors, we end up seeing another generator getting complete before he's able to get, and he is able to get Pop Goes the Weasel. We are able to see a third generator get complete. Ray hugging those corners tightly. Panchito aiming for the middle of the pallet and getting the down right before he's able to get back to the front of the pallet again. But a fourth generator comes out. That's going to mean one death for the rest of those gens. We hear this generator with quite a bit of progress, and we still have a Pop Goes the Weasel ready to use. Gonna kick that back down to about half of what it was, down to 25-ish%. We saw some scratch marks over here. Panchito's not able to find the survivor. Are we able to even find a survivor? We do see main building has a little bit of progress, and we see Cooper taking chase to the hill. And a balanced landing. Trying to get a hit over that rock, but it doesn't come out. And we can only assume that the last two survivors are doubled up on this generator that was popped earlier. We do see last for a survivor that has already had their pain resonance used. Shoal playing very quiet, not trying to get found whatsoever. And oh my goodness, that has to be from the delay. That looks like it hit him, but somehow it just didn't. Stoll gets caught. And this is a pain resonance, a fresh hook. This is such good news for the killer, and such absolutely... Oh my god! With only a second to spare, our survivors complete that last generator. Had the hook come in even a split second earlier, that would have delayed that, and this could be a very different endgame. We will see Panchito taking chase with Cooper, the last fresh survivor. And if my guess is right, our survivors are going to try and go for a hatch play, with Cooper getting hatch. But our killer also knows that Cooper is the... our killer, Panchito, knows that Cooper is the one with balanced landing. Right before they exit the gate, Stroll has second wind. This is so close. We're this close to getting a 3 out. It's so close. We hear the footsteps. They're setting up for a 2-person save. We do see 1 survivor, 2 survivor, 3 survivor, and they're going for the hatch play with Shoal. That's 2 other survivors out. And the 3rd survivor gets the hatch. My goodness. I don't know if everybody else just saw what I saw, but oh my gosh. What a start to the game. The score is 16-16. For whatever reason, it is not updating on the screen. We will check that out in just a second and get that all fixed up for you. But be prepared as we enter the next round, where the next half of this first set, where we will be seeing Loyalty playing killer against Arca and Noed's survivors. Can they bring out a similar result? And we're back. Sorry that took so long. Unfortunately, there had been some problems with the player roster. But we are all set, and unfortunately, that will be a penalty for the survivors, bringing Panchito Crack with a firecracker. That was a very fast down from Lastver. I didn't even have time to notice. We will be seeing Ultra Camper on hook with Massacre, Masonic Plum, and Panchito Crack in the lobby. And that was, in fact, a Pain Resonance hook, which is good news for Lastver, as even though that was already a very fast down, there's not very much progress that these survivors have on gens. Unfortunately for Masonic Plum, getting kicked off of Ruin, but not able to get the hit onto Masonic Plum. Ultra Camper getting unhooked immediately. And we will see Lastver going for the Volt into Shack. And a Cleanse of Ruin. The only gen slowdown now is Pain Resonance. Panchito takes chase, drops the firecracker, and gets hit at the pallet. And a first generator comes out for our survivors. Panchito does go down for it, however. A very delayed down, as much as it can be. Lastver getting another Pain Resonance hook. But with only another 2 activations left, Lastver does need more pressure to ensure that there is a 4K before the 5 gens, if he is going to end up getting the 4K. Masonic Plum gets hit for the unhook and just barely dodges that hatchet. Shack doesn't get through the pallet in time, instead does get downed for dropping it. Stuck in that animation is gonna be tough. We will be seeing Lastver taken to the taking Masonic Plum to the same Pain Resonance hook as our other 2 survivors. And so far we do see the spreading of the first stage. And we hear Panchito inside of main building injured. Lastver trying to get a hit onto Ultra Camper, but even with waiting out the base kit BT, Masonic is going to get Balance Landing off. And make this tile pretty far away from the active generators. But still gets downed. Oh my goodness, look at that absolute truck of a hatchet. This will be Masonic Plum's second hook state. We hear main building chugging away, almost complete. And there is the pop. Panchito getting caught off guard. Takes the hatchet. Lastver noticing as he cannot catch up to Panchito. Huntress is only a 110 killer. That is the most difficult part about this killer. Having to just drop chase and get hatchets. Outra Camper. Achura Camper is going to be pushed away from the unhook. We are going to very likely see Lastfur push Masonic Plum into the death stage. Even though Massacre is a fresh hook. And this is going to be very bad if it is a down on a Massacre. And that is a very, very frustrating, quick and quiet play. But Lastfur doesn't seem to have any nearby pain resonance hooks. That's not good. Because that means that even though this is a fresh hook survivor, just barely making it, that is a pain resonance hook. That is going to be the last gen regression of the game. Everything now is just forward. If our survivors are going to win, it is going to be close. They are currently behind by 2 points due to their balance offense. Will we see Lastfur trying to get a little bit of a sneaky hit? We are able to see the survivors resetting because of the charms. Oh, and it looks like Panchito dropped the pallet on the Massacre, not seeing him. And that's going to be Massacre in the second state. I don't know if the survivors can come back from this. This will be a rough one. Panchito trying to just run around the hook, avoid the hit. Do hear a volt, and hopefully these other 2 survivors are working gens. There's one. If they can get another one out, and the 4 escapes, I do think that they have a chance of tying this, which would be a big deal. Now, what will we see? Oh, and Ochura Camper caught trying to go for the unhook, but gets it in time. And that incredibly fast lifting speed of double lifting speed add-ons is a big deal because it is rapid fire for this Huntress. We see Masonic Plum on the hill. Balance landing survivor taking a hit through the balance. Oh, and that slide like it's ice is gonna be tough. Lastfur getting a kill that will most certainly confirm the win for Loyalty in this set. This generator, despite its progress, is going to get kicked, and that does seem like a little bit of a bug. A visual bug, but a bug. And we see Massacre caught out here. The one injured survivor. Massacre dodging, weaving, dodging, and weaving. Not enough, though. The 4-lane is gonna get ya. Lastfur does get the down, and this is a second death. With 1 gen remaining. That last gen seems so close, yet so far away. That is yet another kick. But the hill gen in the distance that we saw before does get complete. Last just looking for these survivors. So we just saw some scratch marks as we turned away. Oh, and you can see one of the survivors' charms inside of the tile. But Panchito is going to be taking chase. That exit gate is almost open. If Ochura Camper can get in here for just a split second, this might be a 2-out. I think Ochura was at the other exit gate. When a lucky break is going to make it tough. And that's going to be 1 escape and 3 kills for Lastfur on Huntress. A game 1 final score of 42-25. We do see how that one ended up. And yes, the balance offense was the second flashlight, the firecracker on this survivor. But we are going to be checking in with the teams once again in just a second. And we do see Lastford yet again playing killer on this map. Unfortunately, yet again, we are going to see Panchito crack, bringing the wrong item. But that is a very fast injure and a very quick victor for Lastford. Panchito Crack taking the body block for Massacre at main building. We'll be seeing Victor come out yet again, finding Massacre. And we do find Panchito. That's 2 slugs already, and we're barely even into the game. What's going on? That's Ruin. 2 downs and an injure. Already, this game is shaping up to be exciting. And here's the healthy survivor! Right next to Ruin. Looks like Massacre was the one survivor with Unbreakable. Panchito getting hooked. With Ochura and Massacre still injured. And here is Ochura, now stuck in shack for the next 10 seconds. And Masonic Plum just doing a 1-for-1 trade at the hook. That's gonna be Masonic taking the first hook there. And that was 2 pain resonance. Very little gen progress has been able to get made. Oh, and Ochura taking down the second that they hit the locker. What are these survivors doing? They're both injured, so they could be anywhere except for here. Panchito takes the down while Masonic gets the kick. Ochura picks up. We see our survivors trading hooks. They are able to reset at least one of their survivors, which is the good news. They are both in. And Massacre gets hit trying to go for the locker. Ochura is now holding Victor. And the last survivor gets caught going for that unhook. That is another traded hook with Masonic. And we see those Bloodhound bright blood marks leading to this locker. This is bad news for the survivors. Barely able to kick Victor off the locker, drop the pallet, and is now running, unfortunately, into the killer. Panchito gets picked up. Masonic gets healed. First death of the game. Unfortunately for our survivors, still at 5 gens. Gen regression has been making this difficult for them. And another down onto Massacre. Not able to make it into Shack, into a locker to just hold Victor and delay this down. And we saw a crow. Here is Ochura getting the pickup for just a split second, taking the body block. And Lastford is going to use Pop Goes the Weasel on this generator instead of expanding for Chase. We see Massacre not seeing Victor, but that window is going to protect them. Massacre hops into the locker, just trying to buy some more time. This means there is no snowball potential with Victor at this moment. And this is going to likely be another pain resonance hook. Last for finding another generator that has progress. Not the one that was pain resonanced, but now we can only assume that the last generator with progress is not close to being done. Actually, that seems very close to being done, but that's a balanced landing. Going to take Masonic with it for a ride. Victor is running around, and that is a main building pallet in an absolutely disgusting spot. But thanks to the new twins, you can now recall Victor at any point, and you can do it incredibly quick too. Masonic Plum gets downed over the pallet because of this absolute disgusting speed that Victor has. Massacre is now wearing our backpack boy Victor and taking him for a little bit of a ride, but not long enough before that hook does come out. And a Pop Goes the Weasel onto the main building generator. The one generator that we knew had progress, but unluckily does not have enough to get complete. We'd find Massacre. We know that they are hopping in a locker, but Lastford is looking for Ochura Camper, our one fresh hook, who was able to get a generator done in the distance. Nobody saw that generator getting worked on, and so its progress was a complete mystery. Lastford, now knowing where both survivors are, is going to try and get the kills. And that is a recall on Victor. Massacre running to the corner of the map. Gonna likely be trying to go for a live play. But Victor's ability to blood hunt is going to get that down through. No matter how many bushes there are, you cannot hide from Victor. And Lastford is able to find our last survivor for the game. Now all that Lastford has to do is pick and hook. Massacre is already halfway bled out, so it's a good idea to be going for this survivor first. And when we see Lastford put the other survivor on the hook, we will call that there. And Lastford's not able to find Ochura. Where could they have gone? Into the corner. And that one hook that is available is very far away. And able to make it at the last second. That is going to be 28 for loyalty, 0 for Arca to Noed. And we are going to be moving into the next half of the set in just a moment. We do see Victor admiring his sister and the little blood bits from which he came. We are back, and we do see Panchito on the twins. And as you may have noticed for a split second there, we did have to give loyalty a -2 for a balance offense, as well as they brought a torn blueprint instead of a bloodied blueprint. In the event that ends up deciding the game, we will have to give the Arca de Noed an opportunity to replay if they so wish. Only if the basement comes into a factor for this game. But seeing as how it is basement, I'm going to assume they are likely going to not have any additional troubles with that. That is a hex ruin being cleansed. With Shoal down on the pallet. We do see another survivor here. This is Lastfur taking chase now. Shoal trying to get under that pallet, make this just slightly scarier pickup. But the pickup does come through, which is good news for our killer. And this is Cooper getting caught out at the one generator, and a second survivor caught in main building. That has to be Ray, seeing as how Lastfur is still injured. I doubt that they would be grouped up. No, that is in fact Lastfur. With a lithe. That does look like a lithe because they... Oh, so close on that hit. It looked like a lithe because of the delay after hitting the ground. And Lastfur is now blocked that window. And that is going to be a down there. This generator has quite a lot of progress, and Thanatophobia is preventing it from getting complete. Cooper jumps into the locker. Lastfur crawls to the pallet. But Cooper gets picked out of the locker before being able to kick off Victor. Lastfur does get picked up inside of main. And pre-dropping that pallet just to be sure it's not going to be enough. Because Victor is able to get in through a door next to it. Second pallet! And a pallet save! There are 2 pallets here. What is that spawn? Ray getting the pallet save is a big deal for this game. Shoal trying to get this reset in time, and it happens as he takes the hit. Cooper now fully reset. Lastfur is going to be taking chase into the corner of the map and hopping into this locker. Long enough to kick Victor off the locker before getting grabbed out, but not long enough to likely evade chase. There wasn't a pallet here anyway, and so Panchito will get a down. This is going to be Lastfur's first hook. You could say it's his last first hook. And it's going to be next to a generator with not Pop Goes the Weasel, as we did see Thanatophobia get picked instead. And we will have Panchito looking over for these survivors. Cooper takes Victor for a spin. And Lastford gets unhooked. That is a sprint burst on Lastford, not, in fact, Lithe. But there's no pallet here. He gets a nasty hit from across the way. Our killer now needs to get... Unfortunately, that is the death knell for the killer team. Arca and Noed will unfortunately not be able to catch back up in points, even if they 4K right now. That last gen was the deciding factor. Ray is now the one with Backpack Victor. Well, Panchito is going to be sitting at hook with his new friend. We see a survivor next to the survivor with Victor. And we will see Lastford camped to death. But Cooper comes in for the unhook. And another generator gets complete as Cooper takes for the trade. And instead, Panchito wants this kill. He is out for blood. Ray and Soul right next to them. Resetting and healing. Panchito is trying to get the pounce, but hits the wall by only an inch or so. Ray gets the kick, and this is Lastford running for his life. And he just W keys away, trying to make distance, while Panchito is desperately trying to figure out, how do I get this down as quick as possible? And here is another attempt at body blocking from Ray. And instead he's going to get the kick out. Ray is nearby, not able to get a pickup. And this look onto Lastford. His last fur hook. That one didn't land as good as the previous. There's a missed skill check as they hopped off the generator. Cooper getting pushed into the locker, and that might be close enough for a grab. Ooh. Instead, we're going to see Shoal here for a body block. Both of them taking an M1. And our killer deciding to kick and chase Shoal. Shoal hooked once so far this game. Going to be taking chase. And dropping the pallet. And our killer's going to drop them. Cooper gets downed next to the generator. It's almost complete. And we see those bright, beautiful blood marks telling us right where Shoal is. Oh, but instead Panchito bounces and pounces onto something else. Cooper gets picked up from Ray. Ray is on the generator. Ray is going to try and force chase. Ray takes the M1. And we see Cooper trying to come in for the pickup onto Shoal. But it's not going to happen. Victor is able to regain control of his own body very quickly. You see Ray's scratch marks, but we can't find Ray. We are listening for this injured Gabriel. And we see him. And instead, he gets the pickup on Cooper. Cooper gets the kick on Victor. And he tries to run this pallet. One survivor on each side of the pallet. And he decides to run away. Cooper dropping both of these slugged survivors. Ray, with the unbreakable, gets the pickup on Shoal. We do see these bright red blood stains on the ground, telling us where they went. But Panchito is trying to prevent that generator from popping. This game is not lost. But perhaps Ray is, as he is nowhere to be seen. We find Shoal. Panchito slightly overextending. Shoal now forced back into the locker. Cooper, about a minute left on the blood before he drains out. That is the fourth generator getting complete. Shoal takes chase now. Drops the pallet immediately. And is able to get the kick. Cooper gets picked up. Ray, in the opposite corner of the map from the chase, likely has a generator worked on, even if not near done, at least worked on. Shoal takes the down. Ray gets reset. Cooper likely getting reset now too. Panchito just trying to get this hook. This entire game is going one stage at a time. Slow and steady wins this race. These survivors are trying to play it safe. But with one survivor already dead, this does make this come into question of when are they going to start speeding up the game. Cooper gets forced into the locker. Panchito finds the unhooking Ray. Not able to interrupt the unhook, but instead is going to be trying to mind game this tile. Ray faking the pallet vault, the window vault, and is able to make edge map distance. Ray is the last healthy, not healthy, but fresh hook survivor. And that is the last generator getting complete. Cooper body blocking for Shoal, but Shoal hops into the locker, and instead now Panchito does want this injure. Very likely we will see Shoal open the exit gate, and Cooper holding Victor until it is open, with Ray going for the hatch. We will just barely see it not open. Instead, Shoal is running through this tile. Cooper got the pickup on Ray. Ray gets reset. Already they are going for this escape. I don't think Panchito noticed that our survivors went towards Shack. No! They didn't go towards Shack, they went towards main building! We just saw them for a split second. Panchito is going to park Victor next to the other exit gate. And trying to get this hook onto Shoal, as it's one more stage. Unfortunately, is not able to get over the pallet. Instead, is going to try and get this exit gate just delayed. Finds Cooper going for the pickup. And sitting around for a flashlight save if need be. This will be Shoal bleeding out from the looks of it. That is going to be Shoal bleeding out. Cooper is now on the ground as well. And it is 0 points for the bleed out. It's only what you've already had. Ray possibly moving his way back around to the other exit gate. We saw scratch marks for a split second. I do think he went to the other exit gate. But instead, Panchito is going to get this hook. It's hard to tell. Where is Ray? Perhaps he is going for a hatch play. Panchito might consider parking Victor at hatch. We don't see Cooper just giving up on hook. But that's the unhook. Ray, still a fresh hook survivor. Panchito does get a very nice fast vault. Able to avoid that hit. But not able to avoid the Victor hit. Panchito very happy about that. Goes back to look at this gate. And we don't see anybody on it. Panchito, you have to look out for hatch. Cooper is about to bleed out. That's Shoal's dead body! And that is an escape for Ray. Ray takes the escape. And that is going to be game 2 of Loyalty 39, Arca de Noed 17. Thank you very much to everybody who decided to come in today and watch these games with us. And we look forward to seeing you all next time on Sunday when we see the next teams play. We will be seeing Demon Heads versus Omnium Gaming and Odyssey versus Hellsword. Tune in for those on Sunday. In the meantime, enjoy yourself.